It's really hot today. It's way past August. But let me tell you what I watched in August anyway. Enjoy. So what's going on, guys? It's your boy back at it again. Fucking boiling out recently, innit? Back in the UK. Yeah, been really busy with work and other stuff. It's just been a bit of chaos, so I haven't really had time to edit this video. I also recorded this video ages ago. I started editing the original footage and I didn't like it, so I've just decided to re-record it. But yeah, this is it. Basically what this is my normal what I've been watching, but actually instead I did a to Z challenge. So basically I'm going to go through the A to Z stuff challenge and then also show you the rest of what I've been watching throughout the month of August. Hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully it's going to be a lot more consistent and concise than the other video. So let's get right on with it. So like I said, I picked something for every letter out of my collection, apart from O and X. I had seen before, but I hadn't seen the Blu-rays in my collection, so I doubled down in D and K, and I watched 2 films that begin with. But yeah, anyway, let's just get on with it. So I also added in a number as well. So I did 26. I did all 26 letters and a number as well, so it should technically have been 27 films. But yeah, first film I picked from my collection was 12 Angry Men, Criterion release. Got this in the sale earlier this year. Fantastic drama. All 12 jurors are fantastic. They have great chemistry together. They're all fantastic. It's really well written. It's surprisingly very topical for the world we live in today as well. So it's a timeless film, basically. Yeah, the Criterion transfer looks fantastic. Yeah, this was really good. Highly recommend it. It's only 96 minutes and it flew by. Honestly, great film. Highly recommend 12 Angry Men, and especially the Criterion edition. Really great film. Really enjoyed it. Glad I've watched it. For A, I went for an Arrow Academy release. Quite a lot of the next one, the next few are actually Arrow releases, but I went for A Trip to the Moon. Technically this is a short film, but I watched both versions of it on here. Both black and white and colour. This is obviously a really fucking old film. I think this was released back in 1902? It's really, really old. And yeah, basically a bunch of people, a bunch of scientists travel to the moon. They go to the moon, they find aliens, and they interact with them. The 2 different versions. The first one is more light-hearted, but then the second one is a much more darker tone. So it really depends on which one you prefer. The colour version was pretty good as well. Black and white looked really good. I think this is actually a really good Arrow Academy release. But yeah, that is A Trip to the Moon. Very good. B, I decided to go with a Giallo film from a director I've been meaning to watch more of his back catalogue for, and that is Bird with a Crystal Plumage. As you know, I picked up the 4K, but before I picked up the 4K, I picked up this on the last Arrow sale because I wanted to watch it. Yeah, very good Giallo. I think this is a very good Argento film. It might be my favourite. I can't tell if I prefer this or Suspiria. I need to rewatch both of them. But yeah, this was really good. Didn't see the twist coming. I liked the twist in it. I thought it was really good. Was shot beautifully. I liked the music. Dub was really good. Yeah, I actually really liked this. It was a solid film. I can see why a lot of people really like this Argento film, because it was very, very fun. Really enjoyed it. Next, another Arrow Academy film. This film is one of the best that I've seen throughout this thing. It's actually cracked my top 50 films of all time, and that is Children of Men on Arrow Academy. This is so good. This is gritty, this is dark, this is realistic, this is a mixture of like V for Vendetta and The Handmaiden, like the Handmaid's Tales, like both of those ideas. Yeah, it felt very dystopian, it felt very believable, it honestly, yeah, very good, very bleak. Julianne Moore, Clive Owens, Michael Caine, they're all fantastic in this. Yeah, it's... everything about this is great. Shot beautifully, music's great, those one-take shots are all fantastic, well acted. Just everything about this is great. Highly recommend Children of Men. Fantastic. 9.5 out of 10 for sure. For D now, I did watch 2 films beginning with D for this one. Both on Arrow Video. Been meaning to watch this because I hear a lot of people talk quite highly of these films, and I watched the Demons films. Yes, on Arrow Video. That's limited edition with both of them in. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. So Demons 1. Yeah, this was actually quite fun. I actually really enjoyed this. I thought this was a great 80s mixed, like Italian-American horror film. I thought it was very fun. I like the premise of like they're all get invited to a cinema and it's like a big, basically like a summoning in it. They get people there, they transform them, they feast, blah blah blah, like demons do. But yeah, this was really fun. The music was really good. The dub was a bit funny in places. Yeah, it was shot really nicely. The transfer looks really nice. Demons 1, I'll give it a good solid like 8 out of 10, 8.5 maybe. It was very fun. I really enjoyed it. I also really like the creature effects of it. I like the possession mixed with the body horror aspect. That was really good. But Demons 2, on the other hand, really wasn't a fan. I thought this was just too much of a copy and paste of the first one, apart from they just changed the locations, really. Yeah, just didn't grip me as much as the first one. I'd give this like about 4 out of 10, really. I really didn't vibe with Demons 2. Looked good on the transfer, but overall was just not a fan of the film. But yeah, Demons 1 was very fun. Demons 2, not so much. So for E, this is the final Arrow video that I got for a little bit in this collection, but I watched Elvira, Mistress of Darkness. I hear a lot of people talk very highly of Elvira film, so I decided the second to last Arrow sale we got picked up. But yeah, this was a really fun comedy. Elvira was really great. I really liked the, I don't know, it just felt very fantasy and very comedy. I really like this. This is something that, I don't know really how to describe this, but this was a really good 80s horror film. Not 80s horror film, this is a really good 80s horror comedy, because it's sort of fantasy horror comedy. But yeah, the dog was great in this. All the people in the town that Elvira goes to was great. The creepy uncle villain, that was fantastic. Yeah, honestly, Elvira was really good. It was very funny and very entertaining and very heartwarming in a lot of places as well. I want to get, I'm going to get a Region 3 player soon, so I'm definitely going to pick up the sequel from Scream Factory just because I want to witness it. But yeah, Elvira, highly recommend it. Next we have a Second Sight film here. This is another H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, and that is From Beyond. This is a Brian Usner production. This was phenomenal. This was so good. This was just as good as Reanimator in my opinion. The guy who plays Herbert West is actually in this as well. Is it Jeremy Coombs? Sorry, Jeffrey Coombs is in this. He is fantastic in this. It's really good. Basically they create a machine and they can see these creatures from a different reality, and they're basically trying to bring them into their reality, and then they sort of expand their mind, sort of thing. It's very creepy. There's some great body horror in this. The acting is fantastic. Also, that dude from Dawn of the Dead's in this as well. He's really great in this. But yeah, From Beyond, I really recommend this Second Sight edition. The transfer is fantastic, and that cover is gorgeous. From Beyond was a great Brian Usner production. Next, we have a South Korean film here from one of my favourite directors of all time. I finally got around to watching it, and that is The Handmaiden. I only watched the theatrical edition. We'll be going back for the director's cut. This was phenomenal. This is definitely the best looking Pak Won-chuk film I've seen, because obviously everything that I've seen from him is pre-2010, so this is the only thing post-2010 I've seen from him. But yeah, theatrical cut was fantastic. It was really well directed. The 3-act structure was fantastic. The twists and turns was great. Will say, if you're not a fan of seeing sexual stuff happen on film, definitely don't watch this film. It's a very explicit sexual film. A lot of adult themes in here. Love, betrayal, theft. It's, you name it, it's fantastic. It's a great great crime thriller romance story. It's fantastic. Shot beautifully, set in the 1930s. Fantastic. Highly recommend this. Another 9.5, definitely on my top 50 as well. Brilliant. I just realised I skipped over G, so we're just going to quickly go back on ourselves. We watched a Godzilla film. I went for the next one in my run, which was, technically people are going to get tetchy about this because technically she gets top billing, but I watched Godzilla vs Mothra, as it says there, Mothra vs Godzilla. It's a Godzilla film. If you get tetchy about it, eat my ass. But yeah, this was a really good film. The monster action was really good. Basically, Mothra's egg, after following the previous film, washes up on shore. Some people want to sell it off, make loads of money. The Twin Fairies unhappy about that, comes to tell the warnings of it, and then just like in the first Mothra film, they ignore them, use them for their own benefits, and then Mothra comes up to tear shit up, and then Godzilla is also in there, and he's like, no, I want to eat Mothra's babies, and then yeah. But yeah, did really enjoy Mothra vs Godzilla. Much prefer Mothra as an actual standalone film to this one, but yeah, it was great to watch another Godzilla film. And I'm slowly cracking through this. I'm actually cracking through this more this month as we speak. But yeah, great transfer from Criterion as always. You can't go wrong with a Criterion transfer. So going on, so we've done H, we're now on I. The only indicator I have in this watch through, and it begins with I, and that is Irreversible. This is a Gaspino film. I've obviously seen Climax. I haven't seen Enter the Void yet. This was very polarizing watch. Obviously, it's set in reverse. It's basically a woman is raped and you see the crime happen in reverse. You see like the fallout of everything, of like the guy going crazy, and then you see the actual scene, I wouldn't say this film is too bad, to be fair, apart from that fire extinguisher scene. If you're not good with gore, and if you don't like sexual violence, no one likes sexual violence, but yeah, this is probably one of the most harrowing pieces that I've seen. It's hard to watch a sexual assault. It's hard to watch a rape happen in normal any other kind of film, but in this one, it is extremely graphic. It lasts for a very long time. I feel it really captures the horror, the pain, the frightening, just everything wrong with it. Like, you feel disgusted, like, even trying to watch that scene. Like, yeah, basically, it really hammers home the horror of these sorts of things, and it really does. I think like Gaspino really does like to go to those sort of places that we don't like to talk about in film. So I will give him props for that. If you are going to watch this, it's a very hard watch. Make sure you prepare yourself for it, because it's a very polarizing watch. But yeah, this edition comes with 2 cuts of the film, both chronological and the way it came out in theatres. Going to watch the chronological version again soon, just so I can experience it that way. But yeah, Irreversible. It's a very well put together film, but fuck me, is it a hard film to watch. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Just be careful when going into this film, everyone. Just be careful. But for Jay, I decided to watch a 101 film, as I haven't actually watched many 101 films. I'm not going to be talking too much about this film because I don't want to talk about the director really. Jeepers Creepers, very interesting cult horror film from the 2000s. I can see why a lot of people like this. It was well put together. Not going to be talking too much about this film. Jeepers Creepers was, for the film itself, pretty good. So for Kay, I did watch 2 films here. I did watch an Arrow film, and I did watch another film as well. The first Arrow I watched is actually one of the first 4Ks that I've probably watched, like a true 4K, and that is King of New York. Yeah, this was actually a really good film. I've heard a lot of people talk quite highly of this. I think this is the guy who did The Driller Killer, who did this film. But yeah, it was really good. The 4K looked really nice. It was just really good. Basically, Frank White, the guy who Christopher Walken plays, gets out of prison and then basically wants to take New York borough by borough, basically district by district, and then we get to see how he does it. This has got a huge cast in it. There's like Wesley Snipes, Lawrence Fishburne, Steve Brzezinski, I can't pronounce that. So, you know, that guy from Armageddon, Steve, that guy. But yeah, fucking great cast. It was really good. Really enjoyed this. I really like Lawrence Fishburne. He's my standout in this film. I liked it so much. I'm going to buy that film deep cover just because I want to see more 90s Lawrence Fishburne. But yeah, King of New York was really good. Highly recommend this in the next Arrow sale. And the other K I watched was a follow-on from going back to the Godzilla films. Last Godzilla film I watched before Mothra was King Kong vs. Godzilla, and so I decided to watch King Kong Escapes. Yeah, not too bad. Basically, this film is, I'll give this about 3 stars. Yeah, about 3 stars. I give a Godzilla vs. King Kong 3.5. But yeah, sort of sequel, sort of not, sort of sequel, sort of standalone film. Basically, a guy called Doctor Who, not that Doctor Who, is trying to get radioactive materials, build a robot Kong, it malfunctions, they try to hypnotise the real Kong, fails. Yeah, basically. Some great monster fights in it. The suits don't look that good, but it's also I do really like Mechani Kong. Mechani Kong is great. This is a fun little film. And I got it for like £3.50 out of a bargain bin at H&B, so why not? But yeah, King Kong Escapes. Not one of the best monster films I've seen from Toho, but still not one of the worst. But yeah, King Kong Escapes. Next, for L, we got another Arrow. We have Tobe Hooper's Life Force. This was really good, really great, unique zombie, like a sort of sci-fi slash zombie slash vampire film. It's really good. Definitely recommend this. Very different from the other Tobe Hooper films I've seen. I've only seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, so it was a very different experience. But yeah, and because of this, I'm now going to experience more of Tobe Hooper's work. But Life Force was a fantastic, and that cover is great. For M, I did mention her earlier. I did watch the original Mothra. As I said earlier, I did much prefer this film. I just preferred the going to Infant Island and wondering why it's happening, and then all the exploring and how these people survive there, and then finding the twin fairies, and then like capturing them, making money off them, and then Mothra shows up. Yeah, there's just some great stuff in this. I much prefer this. And I also really like the original reversible cover for that. Really like that. But yeah, Mothra was much better. I give this a good I give this like a good 8.5 out of 10. Much more enjoyable. And this Eureka edition was very good. Very good. Next for N, we watched another Criterion. Is this the last Criterion in this collection? This is the last Criterion that I've watched in here. And if you know exactly what I've said N, if you probably know what this is, Night of the Living Dead. Finally, I've got around to seeing Night of the Living Dead. And I can tell you, I was not disappointed. I can see how George Romero managed to take off so well after this film, because for what this is, for a 1968 film, with that small of a budget, like you're thinking this is the same... Is this the same year? This is the same fucking year as 2001: A Space Odyssey. Two massive directors. It's like the fact that where they both were at their stage in life. But yeah, this was really good. This was really well put together. I really enjoyed this. The transfer's really good. I really like the acting from everyone. But yeah, now the transfer on this was really good. Criterion did a very good job with this. George Romero did a fantastic job. And I'm glad that we have this film, because this film has inspired so much. But yeah, Night of the Living Dead was phenomenal. This next film, was one of the only, like I said, was one of the films I have seen before. It's Orphan. Finally rewatched this after many years. Hadn't watched this Blu-ray either. But yeah, Orphan, fantastic. The girl who plays Esther, Isabel Foreman? Can't say that, but yeah, she's great. She's brilliant throughout this entire film. Vera from the Conjuring series, she's great. Peter Skarsgård, he's in this as well. He's great. The other two kids as well, got to give a shout out to them. The great family dynamic, all great actors, great tension. Like it says on the front, you will never guess her secret, and if you don't, you won't guess this. You'll think that you do, but you really don't, which is great. But Orphan is one of those I'd say this is one of the 2000 classics in my opinion. I think this is definitely a film that everyone should have seen from the 2000s if you're a horror film fan. Not the 2010s, not like your Lighthouses and Get Out, but this is very fun. Highly recommend Orphan for horror fans out there. Another horror film now, P. We went with Prom Night. Fancied watching this because I've had this for quite a while, and yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, absolutely love her in this. Basically, a bunch of kids are messing around when they're younger. One kid accidentally dies. Later in life, they're all going off to college, and then someone's killing all the people that were involved off. And yeah, it's just basically a run around. Yeah, I thought this was really good. I did like it. It was it's a very influential slasher film in it. Obviously inspired by Halloween and stuff like that, but still, it was a very fun slasher film. Very well put together. I do think the colouring, like the way it's very heavenly lit, kind of puts me off a little bit. But apart from that, yeah, I did quite enjoy this. And this is a very nice second sight 101 edition as well on the black label. But yeah, Prom Night, it was pretty good. Quite like this. Definitely going to give this a rewatch as well. For Q, I went with a film that is literally, basically a tagline. I didn't have any films begin with Q in my collection apart from this, and it's Superman 4, Quest for Peace. The Quest for Peace. Very schlocky. Definitely not the best Superman film, but still very enjoyable. Really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, to be honest. I love Nuclear Man's big nails, big catty nails. They were great. Lex Luthor, great in this. Superman as well, great. Great. Probably going to be a guilty pleasure film, but yeah, Superman 4 was really good. There's going to be so many people in the comments being like, that doesn't begin with Q! Going on to R now. Another 101 film here, David Cronenberg classic that I hadn't seen, Rabid. A lot of people would tell me to watch Rabid, and yeah, this was actually really well put together. Not as interesting as, say, and not as deep as something like Crash or Videodrome, but yeah, did really enjoy this. And out of those three titles I've actually known, this is the weakest, just because it's not like super groundbreaking for David Cronenberg. Like, David Cronenberg is very out there with his work. This is very, to quote, safe. But yeah, did really enjoy this. I love the feeling this film gave off. Love the way it was shot. Great 70s film. I really enjoyed this. But yeah, definitely going to give this a rewatch. I did kind of fall asleep closer to the end, but that was because I did watch like 4 films in one day when I got up to this. So yeah, David Cronenberg's Rabid. Did really enjoy this. Next, S. Another Argento film, and if you know, you know. It is Suspiria. I've got around to watching this. A uni tutor said I'd really enjoy this. A lot of people in the YouTube community have said that I'd really enjoy this. I did really enjoy this. will say though, some of the music in it did seem really out of place. Like there was just a lot, there was really intense music and just a woman walking down a corridor and then no payoff sort of thing. But yeah, overall Suspiria was really good. There's some beautiful imagery in this, some beautiful use of colour. Yeah, this is just, I can see why this is a lot of people's favourite. I do really like the music by Goblin in this. But yeah, also, if you can see that bit, if you've seen this film and you know this bit with the bird, is that a reference to the bird with the crystal plumage? Because that's what I thought when I watched it. And then the blind guy with the piano, he kind of reminded me of the guy from Cat o' Nine Tails. But yeah, Suspiria, very strong film, very good film. Good transfer as well from, was it Cult Films? A very good transfer from Cult Films. Definitely pick this up. Next, we have another 4K, another Arrow. Pick this up, got a review for it, be in the link in the description. True Romance. Everyone shouts out this film, think it was really good. I pre-ordered this on the basis that it was 4K and Christian Slater was in it. Picked it up, found out it was directed by Tony Scott, written by Tarantino, has a huge cast of Christian Slater, Patricia Aquatic, I don't know, I think she's in 8 Mile, Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, so many fucking huge names in this film. Was really good. The transfer was really good. It was really fun. It was violent, but yeah, had all the great bits in there from Tarantino. Just was a really standout film for the 90s. I really loved it. Just Christian Slater and Patricia, they just had chemistry together. Yeah, really recommend this. If you still pick up a edition on 4K from Arrow Video, pick it up. They might do a special standard edition. Hopefully they do. Fantastic film. Really great. For you, the only other Second Sight film that I watched, this is quite a recent one actually. Well, in the last 5 years, but that is Upgrade. I heard very good things about this horror film, horror sci-fi, and fuck me, I was not disappointed. It was really well acted, it was really well shot, it felt low budget, but also high budget at the same time, just with all, like, I love the aesthetic of the film, I really love the lead, I love the idea of, is it STEM? It's STEM. And also this is written by Lee Winnell, who did the Saw franchise, helped write the Saw franchise, one of my favourite franchises of all time, so I can see why I really like this. The fight scenes in this especially are fantastic. The way this is shot is brilliant. Highly recommend this edition from Second Sight. It was really, really good. And for V now, another Arrow video, I decided to go with a film from the 2000s. It's directed by the same guy who did Godzilla Final Wars, and that is Versus. Another one that I ticked off my Asian cinema list. But yeah, this was really good. This was batshit. Basically, 2 guys have escaped prison. They meet up with some convicts that help them get out. But in reality, their boss wants one of the convicts for his own personal game. And it turns out that the forest that they're in resurrects the dead. And basically, the crime boss wants to use the guy and a girl that they've kidnapped to help open the gateways to hell so he can have all the power. And then he's basically trying to fight off the undead, his personal minions, and himself. So yeah, really great. It's just batshit. It's all over the place. There's loads of sword fights. There's loads of gun fights. There's loads of hand-to-hand combat. It's funny. It's over the top. It's absolutely batshit. If you can get your hands on this limited edition from Arrow Video, pick it up. It's just so good. Versus was so much fun. I really loved it. It's just as fucking fun and out there as Godzilla Final Wars. This director, I need to watch more. He did Midnight Meat Train. Ooh. I have to watch that. Very good. This was really good. For W, a fucking huge film I'd never seen before, and everyone told me that I was going to really like this. And guess what? I really fucking like this. I really, really, really like this. Wolf of Wall Street. Fantastic film. 3 hours went past so quickly. It's so good. I like how this is basically a true story, but not a true story. It's like basically a load of different Wall Street stories bangled in together to make this one giant, like, sort of summary, sort of how it felt to be on Wall Street, in my opinion. But yeah, really good. DiCaprio was great in this. Margot Robbie was great in this. Jonah Hill was great in this. What's his name? John Brentford or something? I don't know. The guy from Punisher and Fury. He was really great in this. literally just the whole supporting cast was great. The setting was great, shot beautifully, it was well done, all the beats were great, yeah, fantastic. Also, Matthew McConaughey's on the back of the box. Why? He's in this for less than 5 minutes. What is it with people doing this sort of shit? But yeah, Wolf of Wall Street, highly recommended, great, and this iconic moment slip is fantastic. Now for X, a film that I have seen before but hadn't seen in my actual collection quite a few years, so I thought, actually I hadn't seen the Blu-ray since I picked it up, so I thought I'd fucking watch it. X-Men Origins Wolverine. This is, apart from this, for some reason I only owned this and Logan. And I only got Logan not too long ago, so for some reason I had this in my collection for fucking ages. I think I got it really cheap. But yeah, not as bad as I remember it being. Some of the casting choices could have been a lot better. The idea of the Deadpool in this film, I think, should have been used after Deadpool was introduced. Like, it reminds me of like a copycat super soldier of Deadpool. Like someone would try and do after they know Deadpool exists, sort of thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, not the worst Wolverine film. Not one of the best X-Men films, but yeah, still enjoyable. Yeah, I still enjoyed watching this, but yeah, X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'm not really going to too much there. Most people have seen this. It's alright. For Y, technically none of the films in this set begin with Y, but the overall set begins with Y, and I decided to watch I watched all 5 of these films for the sake of it. And that is the Years of Lead box set. I watched every single film in here because I thought if it's the only thing that begins with Y, I might as well go all out for it. I'm not going to go too much into all of these films because I have actually started recording a review for these. Not many people are going to watch that because not many people seem to be interested in this, but I really am. I really want to go in depth about these films. All 5 of them are really good. That's all you really need to know. Stay tuned for my more in-depth review of the Years of Lead box set to come later this week or next week, early next week. And for the final film in the A to Z section of this, also an Italian film. John talks about this highly. Hello, John. Craig from Spider Geek talks about this highly, and that is Zombie Flesh Eaters. This was really good. This was a really great. Lucio Fulci did a really good job on this. I can't wait to see like the Beyond and the City of the Living Dead. Is it City of the Living Dead? City of the Living Dead. But yeah, this was really good. It was shot really well. The practical effects were really good. The transfer on this was fantastic. That bit with the bit with the shark fights a zombie. Come on, what was that about? But it was fucking great. This was a really good zombie film. I enjoyed this much more than Rabid. I will say that so. And I probably enjoyed this about the same as Life Force. That was a good zombie vampire film as well. But yeah, probably going to be like, no, it wasn't. It was one, not the other. But yeah, still, this was really good. I did swap it out to that cover for quite a while. But then I don't know. Kind of like the yellow on that. But yeah, Zombie Flesh Eaters was very fun. Very good zombie film. And I've just realised how fucking long this video is and I'm not even finished yet. But yeah, Zombie Flesh Eaters, highly recommend it. It was a great way to finish the A to Z portion of this, what I'd been watching last month. Highly recommend Zombie Flesh Eaters. Now I've got 3 other releases here that I have watched in the month of August. The only other Arrow video I watched because it was a Sunday and I really fancied watching it because it gave me that sort of Sunday vibe, and that is Major Dundee. Did a review and did an unboxing of this. This is really well put together. If you've seen the original Straw Dogs, it's written and directed by the same guy who did that film. Yeah, this is a great mixture of like a period piece and a western. It's really great. Basically, is a retired soldier from, not the Confederates, the other side. I always forget, are they Democrats? Is that what they went by? But anyway, he gets transferred to a prison. Basically a massacre goes on nearby and he wants a shot of like one last shot of glory. He tries to get a load of Confederate soldiers and more people to help him out. His friend, an Irish guy, says no, basically, but then they go together. It's just this big long road trip journey of them trying to find these kids that were stolen from this massacre. And yeah, it's really good. There's some really great dialogue in this, and the fighting between Major Dundee and the captain, fantastic, really great. Yeah, this Arrow video limited edition is very good. I really like it. It's a very good film. Yeah, highly recommend Major Dundee. Give it a watch. The only other big film that I've watched that I've got here that I've seen, I watched this twice in the month of August, and that is Fury. I fancied watching it. and then I was around my mates, and then I watched it again because he just put it on. Really well put together war film. David Ayer done a really good job on this. I think the tension's really good, the casting's really good. Yeah, just the action scenes are really good. I think it's a really well put together 2.5 hour film. This has cracked my top 50 as well. I really like Fury. It's just a really good war film. That's all I have to say about it. Go watch Fury. The last physical release that I watched out of my collection is one I also picked up last month. It's The Web of Fear. Yeah, really like this. Really great episodes. I've said that a million times. If you want my opinion on what I think of the animation, link will be in the description below. But yeah, this is a really good. Yeah, it's a really good episode. Really like this. Really happy to have this steelbook in my collection. And then the two other films I've seen this last month was two cinema releases. I saw both The Suicide Squad and the new Candyman. Really enjoyed both of them. The Suicide Squad was a really great redemption for the Suicide Squad, like after that David Ayer one, unfortunately. But I do also like how it's making a mixture of both the old one and the new one, basically. James Gunn did a really good job on this one. The casting was great. It looked fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I had so much fun all the way through. It even made me feel sad in it. That's how I know I really enjoyed it. It's the fact that it made me sad at one specific point. But yeah, it was really good. But I will say though, new Candyman blew it out of the water for me. As you know, since I first watched the first Candyman, if you've subscribed to this channel since the beginning, you know that since I started it, I did watch the original Candyman, and I fell in love with it. That cracked my top 50 and my top 10 horrors of all time. Yeah, this sequel is really good. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to walk away. Spoiler wise, I'll leave you a timestamp at the bottom for when I stop talking about Candyman. Okay, have we done all that, Future Ash? Alright, cool. Basically, I really like the way that it tells a new story, but also links back to the original as well, because I thought it was just going to be a standard remake, but it's gone for more of a Halloween 2018 vibe. Jordan Peele and the other two people who helped write it have done a very good job. The lady who directed it did a very good job. I think it's a lady who directed it. To be fair, when we first walked in there, I was very tired and wasn't paying attention to all of the credit. The opening credits sequence, though, where they did it, was very good. I will say, though, one thing I didn't like is the fact that the iconic music from the first one wasn't played until the credits started rolling. So I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a cue here and there. But yeah, the guy from Aquaman, who plays Candyman, the new Candyman, brilliant. Much preferred him in this than Aquaman, but I did really like him in Aquaman as well. But yeah, those are the two films that I saw at the cinema this month, and that is literally. So that is everything. That is everything I've watched this month. It was a bit of a struggle trying to watch all of these films, trying to push myself to watch all of these films before the end of the month, and trying to record this video was a pain in the ass. This video, before even cutting it down, was like 45 minutes long. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna have to do some magic on this one. But yeah, basically, guys, thanks for watching. I probably will do this eventually again later, maybe early next year. I reckon I'll do that. But anyway, yeah, those are all the films that I've seen this month. What films have you seen that you really like? What films have you seen by this that I really like that you don't like? Because I guarantee there's some films in there I really like. People are like, shit. But yeah, excited to hear what people have to think. Also, cheers for all the news. I've realised that the growth has been starting up again. So if you're new around here, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. If you've watched this video, thank you for watching. And yeah, subscribe for more future content. That being said, guys, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel, like, comment on all the videos that come out. And yeah, thanks for all the support. See you in the next one. Have a great day. And yeah, bye. Peace.